What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to make friends if you're feeling lonely. A lot of times when we're lonely, we don't know why we feel lonely. So we try to figure out ways on how to make friends with other people to satisfy our loneliness. Or we can do it through ways that are not healthy. But there are healthy ways for you to overcome your loneliness. Now, before I start, obviously, there is a difference between feeling lonely and actually being lonely. We all feel lonely or alone at times. There's nothing odd about that. It's something that's normal, something that everybody inevitably goes through. It becomes a problem when that loneliness is affecting you in a negative way. In your health, in your finances, in your overall life, it's affecting you negatively. That's how you know you have to overcome that loneliness that you're experiencing. So here are some ways to help you overcome the loneliness that you're feeling. One of the ways to do that is to develop social skills. A lot of lonely people don't have good social skills, or any social skills for that matter. And so they're not even sure how they would even go about developing those social skills. So one of the ways for you to develop those social skills is to join groups that involve things you enjoy doing, whether it's a hobby, it's an interest, it's a political organization, it is something that is just of interest to you. You're going to find people who are like-minded, and it will be easier to make friends with those people because you just have the same thing in common, so that you can talk about that thing that you have in common. Another thing you can do is join a church or other religious organization or temple. When you have something in common that is spiritual in nature, it helps you to relate to other people on that level, because ultimately that's why those people are there in that building in the first place, or in that space, because you guys have that metaphysical/spiritual connection and thing in common, so you can connect on that. One other thing for you to do is to say hi to people and smile more often. I think a lot of people underestimate this because they think it doesn't really matter. Saying hi to someone or smiling doesn't really do anything in the long run. But believe me, it does. It's going to change your outlook on life, and it's going to make you think more positively, which is going to be more conducive for you to make friends with other people and to get to know others just on a general basis. When you just do what everybody else is doing, which is just keep your head on your phone, and you don't actually look at others or look at your surroundings, you are actually closing yourself off from interacting with others, and that's going to affect your mental health. The second thing you should do is, if your condition is very severe, like I talked about in my last video, such as a social anxiety or a generalized anxiety, then you need to talk to a therapist. Therapy is a safe space for you to express yourself without judgment. That's a space for you to be able to talk, for you to be able to express yourself, and to let out those negative emotions that are oftentimes holding you back from going forward. Your therapist is going to help you because they are a professional, and they're going to give you useful feedback that will actually help you. It obviously depends on the therapist. Not all therapists are created equal. But the point is, the therapist that you're seeing is generally trained to help you overcome your social anxiety and to make it more manageable. Some therapists are going to give you worksheets that are useful to tackling and undoing negative thoughts about yourself and about others. One common theme that people who have social anxiety and have low social skills have is negative thinking about themselves and about others. I know I was guilty of that before. So you have to hold yourself accountable And one of the best ways of doing that is to put pen to paper and write down the things that are bothering you and countering those negative thoughts with realistic thoughts. Your therapist is trained on how to help you to accomplish that task. So make sure you utilize that to your advantage. Last but not least, you have to believe in yourself. I know that sounds very simplistic, but you're not defined by what other people think about you. Even though in your mind you think that your loneliness is only caused by the fact that you have no friends, which is partially true, but the other part is the way that you think about yourself and you putting so much value in what other people think of you. Because if you do that, the problem with that is no matter how many friends and affirmation you have, you're never going to be satisfied. It'll never be enough for you. So you will constantly keep chasing the approval, and it's just going to make your problems worse than when you first began. When you are not showing signs of too much neediness and clinginess, ironically enough, it makes people attracted to you because they see that you're somebody who's stable, right? Somebody who's stable doesn't constantly cling to others and is desperate for their approval. That person is secure in themselves ultimately, and they know what they can bring to the table. So they don't need to constantly wreck themselves trying to make others like them. When you're being yourself, which I know a lot of people don't like that advice, but ultimately being yourself is one of the best ways to connect with others, especially if you're looking for connection with people who are going to be compatible with you and good for you. You increase your chances of meeting those people by being yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to put on a show that you either don't like others or that you like others. And you don't have to be abrasive about it. Being yourself simply means accepting yourself as you are, and you also understand that you're limited and you are a work in progress. That's a healthy way of accepting yourself. It doesn't mean that you love yourself uncritically or that you think that you are a perfect person. That's not what it means. When you acknowledge your need for others, it actually does not make you a desperate loser. I know that I said earlier that when you don't let what others think of you and when you're not clingy, it makes others attracted to you, which is true. But also acknowledging your human nature, that you do need others, that you can't just live by yourself and just love yourself all by yourself. It's going to attract healthy people into your life. If you're of the mindset, as so many people in our American and Western society are, just trusting yourself and thinking that you can just be independent and you don't need everybody else, other people are just a bonus, not a necessity, you are making it worse and worse on yourself. When you acknowledge your true human nature, which says that, hey, you do need the companionship of others, you do need to be in a community with others. Ironically enough, that makes you attractive to others because they see that you're somebody who is genuine, that you're somebody who is positive, that you're not putting out this front. And if anybody judges you for that, which I think a lot of people will judge you for that, because they will confuse that with you being desperate and needy, a lot of those people will reject you. But don't worry about it, because those people are not the right people for you. The ones who acknowledge their human nature and their desire as the way that God created us, that we need to be in relationship with others, those are the people that you want to be in your life, and those are the people who are going to do whatever it takes to sustain a healthy and growth relationship. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Make sure that you like this video, that you share, that you subscribe, and that you comment, so that way this video can be pushed out to the algorithm. I hope that I can see you in the next video. Take care.